Good morning. My name is Mark Quinn. I'm the Director of Security for Garland ISD. It is now 11:31 a.m., and I would like to call the July 30th meeting of the GISD Safety and Security Committee to order. The Texas Legislature mandates every school district have a safety committee. Texas Education Code and Government Code 551 govern how the committee is run. At this time, we do have one public comment. So, Mr. Duckworth, would you like to go up to the podium? If you don't mind, please state your name and address, and I'll have your timekeeper over here keeping your time. You'll have a total of 3 minutes.
Thank you. Safety and Security Committee, I come to you today. I'm very interested in this committee. When the Uvalde incident happened, my eyes were open because I lost a child to a tragedy. So I kind of know how those people feel. I can't say I know how they feel. But the Safety and Security Committee, we got some new members and some folks that I just want to remind you of how serious this committee is. And particularly the committee members. We have committee members that are not school board participants, but your activity and your part in this is very important. This committee is driven, and Mr. Quinn and I were talking about this, is under the Texas Safety and Security Commission. It's 5 pages. I gave Dr. Garrett a copy of that, the full package. But I just wanted to point out a few points. Your participation in the development of and implementation of district emergency plans, and I looked this morning, the next emergency plan is due 10/2/25, and I didn't see it on the agenda, so, and y'all don't meet again until December, so I don't know how you're going to work that in with the committee's participation. Provide periodically to the Board of Trustees, supply any campus facility support, review each report the district submits to the Texas Safety and Security Commission, consult with local law enforcement, select bleeding control stations are to be placed in schools, ensuring they are easily accessible areas. That's very important, and I think the reports that have just been released from Uvalde are going to prove that probably several of those young people died from being bled out. They weren't killed by the shots, they bled out because nobody was there to give them care. But that's an important thing to have in our schools. I try to find out where we had them, public information request, and was denied information. So hopefully you guys will find out where they're at and if they're doing the proper thing. You're supposed to meet together under Chapter 551 of the Government Code, and I'm questioning whether you're advertising this meeting properly, because it says it's to be advertised just like the board meeting. So I'm down to 1 minute.
The school is recognizing my 10-year-old daughter, Lexi, for receiving all A's. She receives a Good Citizen Award, and we pose for photos. She wears a St. Mary's sweatshirt and a smile that lights up the room. 30 minutes later, a gunman murders her, 18 classmates, and 2 teachers. We are taken to a private room where police tell us she isn't coming home. Uvalde is national news. Parents everywhere reach for their children. I reach out for the daughter I will never hold again.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your comments.
Yes, I think that just gives you the importance of this committee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. All right, we have no other comments. Now I'd like to introduce new committee members. First, have a parent, Lena Collins. Please just want you to say a couple of things about yourself.
My name is Lena Collins.
Can you turn your mic on? Sorry.
No, you're fine. My name is Lena Collins, and I work at Saxe High School. I'm the accounting clerk there. But I also have a daughter that goes to Saxe High School. She's a senior this year. And I'm very excited to be on this committee.
Thank you. Appreciate you being on the committee. We also have Griselda Rosas. Please say a couple things about yourself.
Hi, my name is Griselda Rosas. I work at Houston Middle School. I have 3 kids. My son just graduated from Neyman Forest with the early college program. He accepted at UTD, so he's going to start this fall. My dad is going to go to Raleigh High School, and my son go to bio.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks for being on the committee. And we also now have Dr. Tanya Ramos, who we now have a special education representative on the committee.
Hi, good morning. I am Dr. Tanya Ramos. I'm Executive Director of Student Support and Specialized Services. That department encompasses multi-tiered system of support, Section 504, and special education. This is my 11th year in the district, and I'm happy to serve on this committee.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. So those are our new committee members. We also have, I'm happy to introduce Brian Calhoun is one of our new security, he's in security leadership now. He is our newest coordinator of systems. So, Brian, say a couple things about yourself.
Good morning. I am Brian Calhoun. I've been with the district for 19 years now. I'll be starting my 20th in October. I've served with the security department during that entire time. I began as a PA and intercom technician, as cross-trained in the cameras and access control. Then in 2017, I pursued and secured my license as a fire alarm technician, and I've been working on those systems in our locations ever since. Most recently, I served as the security systems supervisor, managing the day-to-day operations of our team. I've enjoyed all my time with the department. I believe we have a wonderful team in place, and I'm very excited to be serving the district in the capacity as a coordinator.
Thank you. So let me just tell you about Brian real quick that he's not going to say. There are so many systems that GISD has, security systems, safety systems, PAs, fire alarms, intrusion alarms, cameras, all that. Brian overwatches all that. It is a huge job. It is a, behind the curtains job that he's not seen a lot, but I promise you, he is invaluable to this district and his knowledge is impeccable. So thank you so much for being on there. We appreciate you. I appreciate your work. All right, I'll briefly go about all three divisions in security, how we're kind of stacked up and how we're prepping for the beginning of school this year. So I will go over the operations update. We have an operations coordinator vacancy. We just actually hired a new coordinator who will start in a week and a half. So I will wait till next time to let him introduce himself, but I think you'll be very happy with him. He's a great pickup. So I will give you a basic overview of operations, where we ended up last year and what we anticipate for the beginning of new school year. So last year, our end-of-year stats, I have a lot of them, but I'll just touch on some of the main ones. We did 12,890 campus inspection visits throughout the year. That is day shift people. While kids are in school, we're visiting the campus. We're making sure everybody's safe. Everything is safe and secure at each one of our campuses during the day. So 12,890 of those. We received 47,952 phone calls. That's into dispatch. So that is anything from suspicious package to I'm stuck in the elevator to, hey, we've got kids out here on the field Saturday night to there's somebody on the roof. Anything that you can think of security related, we're receiving those calls in dispatch. So almost 48,000 phone calls in one calendar year. So we're busy in there. Most of you have seen dispatch. You'll know that it's a state-of-the-art dispatching center. So we're very busy in there, but we love to do it. So total calls for service, 114,810 calls for service. So I just want that number to sink in a little bit to let y'all know that we're out there. We're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We talked about the dispatch center. We've got day shift patrol that checks the kids while they're in schools. We've got evening shift that checks our campuses and make sure everything, and then deep nights, which checks to make sure everything is good to go the next school morning. So 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week operation, we're out there. I just want to kind of push those numbers out. So preps for the beginning of school year this year. So I kind of wanted to give you a snapshot of where we were and what we're pointing to by the 11th. So all of our campuses are already scheduled for their standard response protocol training. So if you're not aware, each campus every year receives standardized response protocol, which is a emergency response that the campuses go into when there are certain situations that require it. All campuses are scheduled for that. All campuses are also scheduled for their lockdown drills. As you know, we practice how we play, so we have police officers and now our ASOs that go in when we have a lockdown drill. Our police officers and ASOs are the ones that go and open those classroom doors. We want our kids to see a uniform So those are the ones that they see opening those classroom doors. All the campuses are scheduled for those. All our security systems, we're coming to the end of all our checks, making sure all our security systems are up and running properly. We're still installing cameras. We're installing special education cameras in the special ed classrooms, so that's up and running. We are finishing up coordinating with the campuses. Our campuses have Bearcom radios that the campuses can talk to each other. They can talk to each other within the campus. So we are finishing up reprogramming a few campuses' Bearcom radios that they'll have full comms within those campuses. I said before, our evenings and our deep night shifts are focusing on property checks. So into the evening, into the deep night hours, anything that could throw a kink in first day operations, we want to get on top of, make sure we coordinate with maintenance, get everything taken care of so the first day is just seamless and smooth. Like I said, again, our day shift is conducting campus visits. They're touching base with the campus administration, making sure they don't need anything on their radar that they want looked at, whether that's a camera that need to be redirected or a door that they feel like isn't locking properly. We address all of those. We make work orders, push those up to maintenance, push those to systems, and make sure those are all taken care of as well. And then I have all hands on deck for the first day of school. So everybody in the security department is out in the field, checking campuses, touching base with administrators, making sure everybody's got what they need for the first day of school. We're out and about. People see that uniform, know that they can come to us if they have questions, if they need help. We're out there and just making sure all the campuses are covered. In security, we have our district divided into divisions, so we don't overlap each other too much. So like a police department, we're drawn up into beats. So we're split up evenly within those beats of the district to make sure that we have even coverage. And like operations guys are assigned to the same beats as systems and my ASOs. So, and the only other thing I wanted to talk about, just like I said, mentioned earlier, is we have just hired a operations coordinator. You'll be very happy with him when he gets here. So that is all I have. Any questions on operations updates or operations, how we plan to try to make the first day seamless? Anybody have any questions? All right, that was easy. Okay. All right, I will go.
Hey, Mark, I
Yes,
don't
sir.
have any questions, but I just want to congratulate the security team. I know that this summer, when school is out, a lot of times the kids will try to vandalize the schools. And I know that the cameras do work because we were able to get a lot of people that broke windows at some of our buildings. So I was just wondering, and the response time was immediate. So just congratulations in that area. Just wanted to let you know
We
that.
appreciate that. Those
Yeah.
CCTVs
Yeah, I mean,
valuable.
it's amazing what, how you found out who they were and what happened. And I'm thankful that we have that type of security at our buildings. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Our guys are happy to do it. We love doing it.
That's the other thing I want to say. That to the public that's listening to this today, if you see something, say something and help us, in that respect also, because that's something that's very important.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. If there's no other questions on operations, I will pass it to Brian. He'll give us a systems update.
Thank you. It is a very busy time of year, and it's no exception for us. The security systems team, we're currently responding to a multitude of access card requests. They're coming in very heavy now. That's from new employees and employees that are transferring from one location to another. We're currently receiving and responding to 60, 70 per day, and that number will increase exponentially in the next few days as full staffs return to the campuses. So we're addressing those just as quickly as they're coming in. We also are continuing with our schedule of annually testing all our fire alarm systems and extinguishers. What those tests entail is each year we'll go out, we will individually test each and every initiating device in the building. We will activate an alarm and make sure that every notification device in the building is 100% working. And then we'll check the communication center to make sure that the signals are being transmitted directly so that in the event of an emergency, we know that that system is going to be 100% functional and do exactly what it's designed to do. Additionally, this year, we've been working directly with technology this summer on the migration of our access control and CCTV servers. And what this entails is we're going out and reprogramming each one of those with a designated IP address, it belongs to an allocation scheme that technology has put together so that we mirror on each campus how these addresses are worked and set up. We also are physically redirecting them to a designated port. So what this does is it standardizes the network information for our security systems across all the locations in the district. Now, this saves time and it improves communication between ourselves and technology when it does become necessary to troubleshoot an issue. We have it standardized. We all know where we're going, what we're doing. We've also used this opportunity of the migration to utilize some of the more advanced features of our existing equipment. One is the iDRAC, or the Integrated Dell Remote Access Controller that's on some of the servers. This allows us to remotely manage the servers so we can monitor, manage, and troubleshoot remotely without having to first get to the site to check it. As soon as we see a trouble, we can begin the troubleshooting process. This allows us to address problems more efficiently when they occur, and it also reduces downtime on the equipment when a repair does have to take place. We're also nearing completion of the first set of our intercom upgrades. We're currently coordinating between the vendor and our staffs to ensure that anyone who's returning from the summer to a new intercom system are receiving the proper training and support so that everyone will be up to speed and ready for the beginning of the new year. Finally, we've been busy coordinating with the bond office. We're assisting with the portable moves to Heather Glen and the creation of the temporary entrance vestibule at Naaman Forest. We're ensuring that the security systems are relocated, that they're being installed and working correctly, and that our security standards are being maintained throughout. Outside of that, our team is just looking forward to a new year and ready to meet any challenges it might bring.
And that's why we have Brian. Any questions on any kind of system stuff that Brian can answer? It would be Brian answering, not me. All right. Yes, sir.
I'd just like to add some additional something, if that's okay.
Yes, sir.
So in 2023, the citizens overwhelmingly supported our bond. Last week, we had 3 actual events for groundbreakings for our multi-purpose activity centers and 2 new campuses. But a major part of that bond was security. We've already talked about some of it. Let me tell you about some of the more, and that's all happening right now. So we added perimeter fencing at every one of our schools, and that's the first perimeter fencing is now starting to go out, a major security issue. Singular key locks. We've talked about different situations where there were multiple keys and nobody knew which key to use to open doors. We've changed that all around, and I think about 90% of the key locks have now been changed. So as we start the school year, there'll be one key, a master key for every door. And we actually now have gone back to the athletic fields and rekeyed those, so the keys will work everywhere, that one key. Really critical. One of the big things of the 2014 bond was our camera systems. We didn't have any major camera systems before then. We put in over 4,300 camera systems then. We've now replaced almost every one of those cameras. And what we also did, this is the security part, not us. we found areas where we needed more cameras, blind spots. We've added cameras there. As we talked about replacement fire alarms, they were getting old, they needed to be replaced, and they've been replaced. One thing we talked about at our last board meeting, we have 13 campuses which we call open concept classrooms. We have now officially started the work on those first few classrooms at all those campuses. It'll take probably a year or 2 to get them all done, but the idea that was the model way back then when those schools were built, we can't have that anymore. Now every classroom will have a door, a lockable door, a keyable lockable door. Many of these classrooms don't. That is about to start changing right now. We added bullet-resistant film. That's my language. Okay, I know everybody uses different language, but we did it at all the front entrances and all the side doors. That is now all in place and was in place at the end of the school year. I know you're about to talk about the ASOs. We were one of the first districts in the whole state to have a full complement of armed security officers. The state requires about 8 hours of training. I think we gave them like 30 or 40 hours of training. I've met several of our ASOs. Many of them are former military, former police, retired, sometimes both, and they're amazing. And so we're one of the first districts to have full complement of ASOs. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate all those comments. You're fixing to hear more in depth about our ASOs and their training, how it's stepped up a little bit. Any other questions on operations or systems? All right, I'll pass it to James Ferguson. So I'll tell you a little about James real quick. You're fixing to hear how in-depth he's going to get with the ASO training. We could not have selected a better coordinator for the ASOs. You'll hear why here shortly, but his knowledge of training, his knowledge of the training facility that he'll talk about is it's second to none. It's superb, and we picked up the right guy for it. James, you're on.
All right, thank you. So Mark mentioned this, the training side of our training center is fully operational. It's been operational for, 5 or 6 months, fully operational. We've got law enforcement that are in there weekly. Multiple agencies use it. Rowlett trains there on a regular basis. Garland trains there on a regular basis. And it's growing out of the area. And why is that important? It's important so our first responders have a place to go and train. So when they do have to answer that call and respond to an active shooter, they've already done it. They've done it in a school. And so in our training center, we have classrooms that are decorated the best that we could do without having kids in there. We had a group of students come in that were in the teacher program. I don't remember what program that is, but they came from a couple of different schools, and they decorated the schools for us so the officers are not responding to a sterile classroom. And we want to get the environment as close to real as possible. But we're just limited on training because it takes a lot of other people to have actors and things like that. So that's up and running. It's also going to allow us to do in-service training for our ASOs that I will get to here in just a minute. Currently, today's the ASO's first day back of training or back at work, and we've got 8 days of training scheduled for them before they go back to their school. And so we have a lot of joint training going on between Garland Police Department and Rowlett Police Department and us. We have a very good working relationship with those agencies, and they provide training for us, and here recently I provided some training for Rowlett that they needed. So Rowlett is going to conduct ASP baton training for us and handcuff training for our ASOs that haven't received it yet. We have some new ASOs that haven't received that training, and that's going to be taking place later this week. A couple of weeks ago, I did a 3-day Red Dot instructor class for Rowlett Police Department's firearms instructors that needed that certification. Garland PD is conducting Alert Level 1 training for all of our ASOs next week. So next week, half of our ASOs are going to the range, and then half will be at our training center for Alert Level 1 training. And so Alert Level 1 training is responding to an active shooter event. It's a force-on-force training so that they will be given scenarios, and these are scenarios that are put out from Alert, and they are specific scenarios where they have to respond certain ways, and they have certain driving forces that make them respond, and then engage the bad guys to end the scenario properly. And then they'll get critiqued from that, get feedback, and have opportunities to do it again. When we go to the range, I'll be conducting our firearms training for our ASOs, and GPD is allowing us to use their range, and they're providing 2 firearms instructors to help me with that training. And so there'll be 3 firearms instructors on the line. We're going to have approximately 20 of our ASOs on the range at one time, and they'll be in 2 relays. One relay will shoot while the other relay's watching, and then they'll rotate. We've also started a voluntary red dot sight program. So it's a red dot optic that goes on your handgun, and it allows you to be target focused instead of focused on the sights on your weapon. So traditional shooting, you're supposed to focus on the front sight when you're engaging targets, and that's just not what happens in the reality of deadly force encounters. You are looking at the target that's trying to kill you. And so with a red dot sight on the handgun, The officer stays focused on the threat. The red dot appears in between their vision, and they can engage the threat. It helps with vision as well. So our older officers that we have, I fit in that category. It's hard to focus on things right here in front of you, but when you're looking at distance, you can see everything clearly. So that is a voluntary program, and we've got 18 of our ASOs that have went out and bought their optic themselves. We have an approved optic list of duty-proven optics, and I've installed those optics on their weapons. I'm a Glock armorer, so I can do work on our weapons, and they're going to get a 2-day training, firearms training on that before they're authorized to carry it, and that will take place next week, as well as they're getting weapon-mounted lights, and they're going to get a low light portion in the firearms training next week to teach them how to operate with weapon-mounted lights. We've also got 8 Stop the Bleed instructors that are certified Stop the Bleed instructors that can help train school staff across the district. 2 of our ASOs are now certified CPR instructors, and they're teaching our ASOs over these next 8 days to get everybody's certification up. And then once the school district or the school is going, the school year, with our floaters, when we have full staff, we're going to send our floaters out to relieve ASOs at their school. We're going to bring them back to the training center, and then we are going to run them through in-service alert training or kind of force-on-force training with equipment that we have purchased to do that for our ASOs. And I think that is it.
All right. Any questions? I know there's some questions on ASOs.
One thing I'm curious of, with the ASOs being on the campus and they're in the building itself, and one concern I have is just like what happened this weekend in New York where the guy with a mental issue, health issue. And I know that we have ladies in the kiosks that are letting people come into those areas. Do they have any kind of system, or are we training them or anything to what they see or whatever to how they can identify to get the ASO there in case they think that somebody might be just a little shaky or whatever the case may be?
So they're getting SRP training this week, which is standard response protocol that talks about things like that. Basically, see something, say something. And the instructors they actually presented that today to my guys, and they were actually talking about suspicious people outside or see people outside with weapons or people coming in to notify the proper authorities.
They also have the ability to direct contact through radio. You know, campuses have the radios. They can contact the ASOs on that radio channel as well. So, yes. Yes, sir.
Are we at full complement with ASOs right now?
We have 2 openings right now that we are actively filled. We will have them filled. Now, I'm not going to tell you they're going to be carried by the first day because they have to have supplemental training, but we are in the process of going through applications right now.
One of the things that, as trustees, we get questioned, they hear we're consolidating schools, and they always say, what are you doing with the empty schools? And would you talk about how we took an empty school and converted it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll build on what James said about the training center. So we were incredibly fortunate that the board and our administration allowed us to move into the old Williams Elementary to actually turn it into half of it security offices and the other half a dedicated school-based training facility. So like James said, we had our students from North Garland and, Naaman Forest, and I think it was South Garland come and actually decorate the classrooms. So when the first responders go into a classroom, it's not a sterile classroom. It actually looks like a classroom. So we're going to take that even a step further, and we will coordinate with the Lost and Found at some point, get some backpacks and some other stuff like that. But just the ability to have a facility where a first responder goes down a hallway with 17 or 18 classrooms and offices and a clinic and a school setup is invaluable. Just like James said, if they ever to go in and take care of a real incident, they've been there before. They have advanced through a school hallway before because they've done it at our training facility. So that building is invaluable for first responders to train how they're going to play. Any other ASO questions? please.
I was just going to echo kind of what you were talking about with James. I've been fortunate enough to go through the training with James, the Red Dot School class that we went to. He's also sought extensive feedback from the Rowlett Police Department, Garland Police Department, Saxby Police Department to make that training facility better. We've been in and out of that place to try to make it as good as we can possibly make it. Speaking on the law enforcement side, that, just like you said, that place is invaluable. It offers us the opportunity to be able to go in and train pretty much at any point in time that we want to or we need to, if we need to put alert classes through. And it also, it helps us to be able to bring alert classes to the GISD area so that we can, again, make a name for GISD with that training center and let everybody know how far we are progressing forward. So that security building is absolutely amazing. So thank you guys.
And it's so much more than just alert or active shooter response. We've had SWAT teams in there. We've had canine teams in there. We've had drone teams in there, all running in that building. You know, we've had rookies come through and run building searches and family violence scenarios and anything that you can think of. Yeah, bomb squads have been in there training for for bomb response. There's just so many different areas of first responder responses that that building can help train, and we're thrilled.
When we were doing that, we were constantly looking for venues, and the venues just weren't out there. And the school districts would let us come in and do that training in a school, but it had to be after hours, and a lot of times the air conditioning was cut off or the heat wasn't turned on. And so you got officers in there and all that protective equipment, and they're hot or they're cold, and we're a climate controlled environment for them. And they can get the best training value, so they're prepared. Hopefully that day never comes, but if it is, they should be prepared for it.
Thank you. Any other ASO questions? All right. We will now move into executive session. Per Government Code 551, executive session is held for purposes permitted by the Texas Open Meetings Act, such as the presentation of information of a sensitive nature. Pursuant to Chapter 551.076, we will now ask visitors to exit the room and for the video to cease recording at this time so that the committee may discuss the district's TEA district vulnerability assessment. All right, the time's now 12:14, and we have closed the executive session portion of the meeting. Visitors have been invited back into the committee room. I certify that nothing was discussed in the executive session that was not listed on the agenda. Are there any topics for future discussion? All right. Seeing none, I would like to invite Dr. Lopez to give any closing remarks he'd like to give.
First of all, I want to thank committee members for taking their time out of their busy schedule to partake in this. You could see safety is a priority. We're about to kick off the school year, and we hope it's a successful one. We got all our Tri-City areas, from our Garland partners to our Rowlett partners to our Saxe partners, and every single one of them wants what's best for the students of our district. And every single one of them deals with unique situations. No two days are alike, right? And so that's why this committee is so important, that we have to always be prepared. We always have to know what's going on. The citizens of Garland need to know that we're being extremely proactive and collaborative. Each and every one of our agencies works so well with us, not only from our SRO program, but creating the Stop the Bleed initiative, from working with us on crossing guards. You know, these are the everyday safety factors that we got to work with. Fire departments, how they go ahead and anytime there's a need at the campus, whether it's a medical emergency or a fire alarm goes off. There's so many different facets that we have to work together, that it's great that the public can see that this didn't start because of that, but we're getting better because of it. And so this initiative, we hope to carry the torch so others could see how three cities can work together for the betterment of a school district, and this is a perfect example. So thank you all. Let's make it a great school year. We appreciate all your sacrifices. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lopez. We've now completed the scheduled order of business, and there's no further business for this assembly to consider at this time. I declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you.